I need to change my pants.
And now, back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Back on the Big Dumb Fun Show, we are live online at BigDumbFunShow.com. Friend, fan, follow us on Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, Twitter, Info, Reverb Nation, Tumblr, Google+, Reverb Nation, which we are now number 2 in the DJ charts in Kansas City, and we're moving up across the nation. We're like 280.
Absolutely on
in
the
the
phone.
U.S. for DJs.
Seriously, who's number one in Kansas City?
I don't know.
Let's like Nancy Kerrigan them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not officially a part of the show, but
you're willing to work on our behalf? That's fantastic.
Possibly.
On the phone, I believe we have stand-up comedian James Johann.
Yeah, you may have heard him from Sirius XM Satellite Radio. He was on The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson and on CMT as well. He is the rural genius. James Johann now joins us by phone on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Welcome to the show, James.
Hey, guys. How's it going in there today?
Now, it's going fantastic. You've been a busy bee, and I hear you got some big news in regards to a project that you're working on as well.
Right. It's kind of a local thing for Kansas City or just Midwest people. It's called the Rural Genius Show. We're trying to get it on a local channel here. And basically what we're doing is bringing in some good comics, some good musicians, pretty much anybody that's got a interesting thing to promote, you know. And, I've been all around the country, and sometimes you get a little scene going, and sometimes you don't. So I would like to be a part of, letting people around here know who we got and showcasing them right here in the Midwest. So,
yeah, but this is your hometown, right? Or are you from Kansas?
I live here all my life.
Okay, so you're
born and raised in Kansas,
and this is going to be on Kansas, television here in Kansas City.
Yeah, we're shopping it to a couple stations. You know, we're not trying to go up against Jimmy Kimmel or anybody at night, but, we might have a Sunday night show or something like that where people can tune in and catch some good live music and hear some good comics.
I like it when the stations around here will take a chance at something local because it doesn't happen that often. Every once in a while they had that American Idol type show that was, they threw it up against Saturday Night Live, and at the time I hated it. I thought it was just awful. But the more and more I got to appreciate the fact that, hey, hell, at least they're doing something local. They're putting something together because everything's syndicated nowadays, which, I mean, by hook or by crook, hey, that'd be great if you could have this show from Kansas City syndicated one day as well. But baby steps, I suppose.
Right. And a lot of my friends are musicians, local musicians, and they play a lot of gigs around town, put on good shows. But you're not going to hear them on the big rock stations. They play Nickelback 40 times a day, but you're never going to hear anybody from your hometown.
Oh, yeah, you're preaching to the choir. We talk to bands all the time that have the same argument. Yeah, and comedians.
And filmmakers.
Yeah, they complain.
Comedians get a little lucky because they actually are forced to do radio with most of their club weeks, so you get a little airplay. But these bands, I just don't hear them. I turn around the radio and I hear, if I hear another Nickelback song, I'm going to snap.
What's the worst radio interview that you've ever done? Now, this is usually when you have to wake up early in the morning before, the Friday or Thursday before the gig and go to the local station, and what's the worst experience that you've had?
Well, there's two. There's two different types, the bad kind. The bad kind is where you get the DJ who won't laugh at anything. He's just not in a good mood, or he doesn't think you're funny, so you're basically doing your jokes to him and silence. And that can actually hurt your show because you don't even sound like you're funny to the guy. Or the worst, really the worst one is when the DJs try to out-funny you. They call you down to do a little bit of your material and showcase your talent, and everything you say they try to one-up you. So,
yeah.
then it turns into a match.
When I listen to that, when I listen to those, you kind of know what's coming. They're basically saying, I think that Bob and Tom, you walk on there and they're like, but they say after they introduce you, don't make pleasantries, just go right into your stuff, like just go right into the bits, like there's no small talk, just go right into it. And I don't like that because as a listener, I'm thinking, oh, here come the jokes. I almost like that more of a conversational style, but I can see how, a jock who, has to have the last word is like, hey, let me try to one-up you on this.
Yeah, the only thing worse than that is that if somebody you do these morning TV shows, that's morning news, And a lot of them just don't know how to interview a comedian, you know. I'll start a joke. I'll go, well, my sister's a cop. And the guy goes, oh, my sister's a cop. Well, why don't you tell me about your damn sister? I drove all the way down here. Yeah. Let's hear about your family. Yeah.
Do you ever
know you're setting up a joke.
Do you have any Nickelback you could play for me while you're at it?
So I understand you had a funny circumstance happen at the Waffle House. And you're like, oh, okay, what an awful setup. But you know what? I do.
Good night.
Oh, we got a little Nickelback in the background
sorry,
there.
James.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're just no. But you know, what I think is funny is on those you know kind of Today Show ripoff thing. You know, the local versions where they'll be in thick hard news, and then they'll be like. And over in Studio B, Stephanie has got comedian James Johann here to bring the funny. Before we get back to that bus crash, let's talk to Stephanie. Take it away.
Exactly. And Bob and Tom is especially a tough show because you're in there with other comics, you know. So then everybody's trying to get some airtime and everybody's trying to out-funny each other. So it's a little less personal, you know. And you're in there and it's kind of a competition in there in that way too. So.
Yeah, and you have the roadshow aspect of it, where I guess most comedians not only want to sell tickets to whatever gig they have coming up, but they also want maybe a part of being on this little roadshow because they had that going at one point in time, I think.
Yeah, I think they still do that. As a matter of fact, they play some theaters and stuff, and they bring along the comics they like, which is cool. But they definitely have their favorites, and if you're not the other guys show up, you're done.
Well, one of these days,
sit there and be quiet.
One of these days, Gnurk and I just hope that there's a couple of other radio hosts in a closet, making fun of us someday. But hopefully, we'll get there someday. And I think with the TV show, you're starting off. You're local, and I could totally see this, going nationally syndicated.
Well, I just like to get, start out local and make it based around Kansas City or the Midwest. Snag up a few of the comics that come through from out of town. Maybe some LA guys come in and do a little interview. And, if it gets a little bit bigger, that would be cool too. So, but it's just something that I can do at home. I got a little girl now. She's 8, and I like to be at home as much as possible. And this is something that allows me to work in town. So that's cool.
Yeah. Online, you're at ruralgenius.com, and we'll link up to that via our Facebook account, facebook.com/BigDumbFunShow. You can get on there. From the website, you can get a hold of James's Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube page. Along with iTunes, you can download some of his stand-up via iTunes as well. Comedian James Johann joining us by phone. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us tonight on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, guys. Always fun to listen. Have a good night.
Absolutely. So listen to his show, or get ready to be able to watch his show here in Kansas City very soon. I can't wait to find out where he ends up on. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back after this on the Big Dumb Fun Show.